Amanda, thank you so much for joining us here at Digital Edge. To kick things off, I'd love for you to just introduce yourself and tell me a little bit more about your role.
All right, thank you for having me. I'm Amanda Rice. I'm the Director of Digital Transformation at the Australian Financial Security Authority. My role is to lead digital transformation across the agency, so we're embarking on looking at how we can modernise our services.
Yeah, excellent. And I think government often unfairly and sometimes fairly is put as this laggard when it comes to innovation and transformation. But we work with an incredible amount of organisations across federal and state government, and there's been a huge amount of work that's gone into transformation. What are some of the specific projects or some of the areas that you're focusing on?
So we're looking at how we can deliver. Obviously, we've like many government agencies, have built our services over a number of years, and a lot of the things we've done have been quite tactical in terms of improving how we deliver them. Still quite administrative, so we're trying to reduce that. We know that people don't care that they interact with AFSO or if they interact with Services Australia, they just want to interact with government and have a seamless, consistent experience, but they want to know that their information is secure, and that trust element with government. So it's about delivering that in a modern way and being able to remain sustainable as things evolve in the external world and technology evolves, and keeping up with user expectations. So that's the challenge.
Excellent. And delivering those services and putting the citizen or customer first, whichever language or vernacular is most appropriate.
People first.
People first, regardless. Does that involve a lot of back-end data sharing across government entities?
Yes and no. So we share our statistics. So we manage personal insolvency and personal property security. So we have statistics that shares that information because that's quite, for the economy, it's useful. So we do have that. And we work with other government agencies around sharing of data, but then there are privacy implications too that we need to be conscious of. So there is a lot of constraints around some of that too.
Yeah, excellent. And we were speaking earlier, and you said that there is a combination of new tech and legacy technology dating back to 1966.
Technology is not that old, but some of the processes, the legislation can be.
Fair enough. But you also said that tech is 30% of the challenge.
Yes.
Can you speak to some of the other areas that are posing a challenge in these initiatives?
So over the last year, I've been on quite a journey myself in terms of what digital transformation looks like. And so we've done a lot of focus on what technology will be able to support it, but over the year I've just realised that's the enabler, the change around how we deliver our services for users, but also what that means for our staff is probably the key thing. And that's probably the most challenging bit around the design of services, what that means for the people, what it means for our stakeholders, what it means for our future, and what that means, how does that shape us in the long term and change us in how we deliver not only our services but our social responsibility. So that's
excellent. Yeah, it's the hard part of a technology leader's job is dealing with the change in people, and it always seems to be that in the conversations that we have. You also mentioned you're about to launch Phase 0. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, we're looking to hopefully have a Phase 0. We're at a business case stage. So if that's approved, then we'll be looking at building the foundation. So a bit more discovery, but more around the service design side of it. So looking at how we deliver our services to what we've done in the past and how we can improve that. And also the technology layer around what foundations we need to be able to build on, but also the data architecture too, and that data piece. Because we've been around for a while, our data, our legacy systems are quite siloed, so it's about how we can move that into a new modern tech with limited issues. So it's about all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a challenging question. I mean, it's tricky. You said keeping up with the changing customer expectations, people expectations, and then also the changing nature of technology. There's always a new shiny tool that can solve your problem better than the old one.
Exactly.
And every 2 weeks it seems like there's a new one coming out. How do you keep up with that pace of change? Whilst obviously it's almost like changing the tyres while the car's driving.
So it's keeping an ear to the ground. So having awareness, coming to events like this and learning from fellow people in the industry as well, and having and the intel that's been shared today has been quite great in understanding the first speaker around 2030 and where we should be looking to, and just having that in the back of your mind so you're able to pivot. So not locking yourself in to something that, you know, will create a problem, today's problem tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's being able to pivot and using the technology around you at a, you know, quite quickly. And so being agile, I know we throw that word around a lot, but yeah, being agile.
And then I suppose my last question will be, just as we need to be agile in the way that we leverage our technology, how do we instill that into the people? So we have a continuous change mindset within our group. So just like we have legacy tech, Matt Boone always says we have legacy mindsets.
Yeah.
And then breaking that legacy, you know, is often a big challenge.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas around that? I know it's not an easy question to
It's not
answer.
easy, and I probably don't have an answer to it really, but what I can share is what we're doing, what I'm doing. Is being open, and it was good that we had that speaker today around the fishbowl, being open and transparent where you can around what's happening, but also, you know, and engaging, but also being empathetic to where people are and where they are on their own journey and how they're reacting to what's going on around them. So just, and reinforcing the why to change. We've got a burning platform like everyone else. That's our user expectations and delivering a public service. That's what we're here for. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to serve the people. The people's expectations are this, and this is why we need to change.
Absolutely. That's how you get the buy-in.